Hello, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be at home date night ideas or at home like evening ideas if you're by yourself, because all of these things other than like some of the board games you could do as a solo person. So at home solo activities or date night activities. I'm probably going to call this like at home date night activities, but these are things that you could do as a single person too. So don't feel like you couldn't. I mentioned this kind of thing a little bit when I was showing my Lego sets that we haven't put together and kind of how I got into it. I'll kind of go back and talk about that again a little bit, but I thought it would be fun to kind of show all of the things that my husband and I do for our at-home date nights, just to give you all inspiration. And I just thought it would be fun trying to branch out and do more than just makeup. And these are easy videos for me to film, so it's kind of a combination. So yeah, if this is interesting to you, stick around. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out, and let's jump in. I'll start with the Lego sets because that's kind of what started this. Valentine's Day 2 years ago, if you watched my Lego video, you will have heard this story. If you didn't watch that, this will be brand new. For Valentine's Day, my husband got us the orchid, like the normal white standard orchid. That set is still available. It was around $40 to $50, I think. And so for Valentine's Day, we had dinner at home, and then after the kids went to bed, we put the Lego set together, and then that kind of sparked my interest in Legos, and it also kind of turned into our at-home date night evenings. We weren't doing them all the time, but that's kind of what started this, and then we kind of branched out from there. So I did pull out one of my unopened sets. This one's about $4.50, which I've learned a lot about Legos. I did not grow up doing Legos. If you didn't watch that video, I talked about this a little bit in that video, but I did not grow up doing Legos. So this kind of sparked my interest in Legos. And then also I've learned a lot about how long it takes to do some of these sets in the price per piece count and all that. So $450 to $500 is a good number and less to do in one sitting. Anything bigger than this is probably going to take you more than one day. So like me, I like being able to do them in one sitting, but I didn't know a lot. Like I said, didn't know a lot about Legos. So like at least around this number or lower is a good one for that, because you can do it in an evening. So we started out with doing Legos. We reached a point, because we're remodeling our house, where we ran out of room. The room that we do have to put things out, is all that stuff that's out is eventually going to need to get packed up, because we're going to remodel the upstairs. We've been mainly focusing outside, but we're getting to a point where we're going to start coming in. So at some point, all of my stuff in this room is going to have to be packed up, and then I may have to go back to filming in my bedroom, which I used to do years ago, which I don't have any children in our bedroom anymore. They're in their own room, so that would be a little bit easier. When I was trying to film in there years ago, I had babies in there, so that was a whole thing. But anyways, we reached a point where we stopped putting Lego sets together because we didn't have anywhere to put them, and if we did, they were going to have to be packed up, and it's extremely stressful to pack up a Lego thing because it's going to get a little bit broken. So we kind of put a pause on Legos, but we still wanted to do like the date night at home evenings where we, aren't just watching TV, because we generally will watch a show or a movie before we go to bed, but it's nice to do something that's not device driven. We can connect a little bit, talk. It's a little more fun. So we have branched out. We do puzzles. I had these two downstairs, so I just pulled them out for an example. Again, 500 pieces. Like this is kind of a weird picture, but my mom's friend gave me this one. The ones that I have upstairs in our bedroom are like Stranger Things themed. My husband got me a tarot card like dark tarot card puzzle. The 500 pieces are pretty easy to do in an evening. We tried to do the tarot card puzzle, which was 1,000. Potentially need a little bit bigger of a card table. We just have the standard square card table. I do have a second one, I think. So like 1,000 pieces. I hadn't done a 1,000-piece puzzle in a very long time, so I wasn't sure. The 500 pieces are definitely easier to do in an evening. I had a Stranger Things one that's like cartoon pictures of them from the first season. The other Stranger Things puzzle I got is 1,000 pieces, and we're going to run into the same problem that we did with the tarot card, where it's a lot of pieces and then they're all very dark. So I ended up hacking that up because that was going to be several evenings and more time than what we have. So I think from here on out, we'll just stick to the 500-piece ones. I didn't know. It's been a learning curve with this kind of thing. We do also do board games. So like I had this one again downstairs. I bought this on eBay. I found it on eBay. I had this when I was in high school and I was absolutely obsessed. This is complete. This was a display model. I found a gentleman that I think had a game shop, so he had a whole bunch. I got it for like 20 bucks. Steal, in my opinion, but this is, you can play it with 2 people. Somebody's the bad guy and then somebody is all the good characters. If you have more than 2 people, the good characters get divided up. You can go up to, I think it's 5 with this one. Yeah, 5. So the characters get split. But we do games like this where it's not necessarily a role playing like D&D, but I have a version where it's similar concept to this, where you're at a shopping mall and there's a killer. We got it straight from the company. We've done Scrabble, like Scrabble, Monopoly Junior, we will do with our 7-year-old. So we'll try and have, like, she helps us with the 500-piece puzzles. We've tried to do board games that she can do. So like I said, Scrabble, she's done Scrabble with us. I got out Life. We played Life with her. My mother-in-law had Monopoly Junior, so we did Monopoly Junior with her. Something like this would be just for my husband and I. I have my original version of Jumanji. We played that with her. I did buy the new version of Jumanji, which is a little more interactive. The original one that I had growing up was a little bit easier for our daughter. So sometimes we'll do games where it's just my husband and I. We have one where it's like a village and then there's monsters and you can pick different monsters and you have to kill the monsters. And that one is one, I think it's called Horrified. You can play with one person. It took us a little bit to figure out how to play it. We've bought a few adult board games where you need a PhD to figure out the instructions. Some games are easier than others, so that's why I bought this, because I have played this and know the rules. Because like I said, there are some adult games where you have to watch multiple videos to understand the instructions. And it's not just us, because it makes me feel stupid, but there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, we have to watch the videos. And I'm like, you shouldn't have to watch a YouTube video to be able to understand the rules. But don't get discouraged. We have a pirate ship one that I found and it was recommended. I follow people on TikTok, so I follow like board game people and have gotten recommendations for like 2 people games. I have some card games that I bought, so we've done those in the evening. 2-person, more adult board games. Like I said, some of them are better than others. And then I started branching out and buying games that I liked when I was younger. I have a Goosebumps one. The Graveyard Goosebump one, I got that on eBay too. And then our newest thing, this is what sparked the video, and I didn't want to just show these 2 things. I figured I would show you where we've come. Getting ready for Halloween. I got these from Michael's. They're a little bit pricey. This one was $15. It's $14.99, and then this one's $35. But I had a discount coupon off of the entire purchase, and then I also had reward money, so it brought the price down. I only buy stuff like this either super discounted, like through eBay, really cheap, have a coupon, something. So I got, it's 2 little pictures, and it's paint by numbers. So this one's potion bottles, and then I have another one of these picked out and another one of the little like dioramas picked out. If we like them, then I'll get another set next month, but figured we could each paint one in the evening. And it comes with the paint and a few different brushes, and then the things where you can like display them. So I thought that was fun. Like I said, I picked out another set of both of these if we like them. And then this is the diorama kit. This is the Apothecary Shop. The other one I was looking at, they have one where it's kind of like a greenhouse, and then there's also like a bookstore one. I think I may have added the bookstore one, I don't remember, but again, it's something that we can do together. It comes with the plywood, paper, accessories, glue, tweezers, sandpaper, and instruction book. So I don't think it's a bad price for a kit like this because it comes with everything. Because it can get really expensive getting into like miniature building to buy all the crap that you need. So I thought the kit was nice. And like I said, I did do another set of 2 and then another one of these. If we like it, I'll get another one. But again, like this is an evening. This could be an evening. This could take us a couple of evenings. I don't know how easy these are, but yes, I did have to spend money to get some of these. Like I bought puzzles. I'm going to have to go online and buy a couple more 500 piece puzzles. Cause like I said, I did figure out that 1,000 piece was just a hair too involved, and we need a bigger table. We can't really use our dining table because my children are 2.5, 3.5, and 7.5. Now the 7.5-year-old's not going to touch stuff as much, but the 2 and the 3-year-old, and then we also need to be able to use our dining table. So I try and set this stuff up. We leave the card table out. We have our master bedroom's fairly large. There's enough room for a chair, another chair and the table off to the corner so that the puzzle can sit there. But the 1,000 piece, especially the tarot card one, is all pretty dark. And then the other Stranger Thing one that I got, the 1,000 pieces, isn't going to be much better. It's all 4 movie posters and it's all pretty dark. 1,000 pieces I think is just too much. Like I said, I like things that we can generally do in an evening. The 1,000 piece one was going to take us, I was like, oh, if we could do 500 in a day, like the 1,000 pieces we could do in 2 days, not the ones that we have. So I try, and just because the kids come in, things get knocked off. I don't want pieces to get lost. So I think I'm going to look for a couple more 500 piece puzzles on Amazon, but it's nice. Yes, I am still spending money, but I'm spending far less than if we went out and did things. Because when you go out to dinner, you're spending at least $50. And then if you go to a movie, that's another $50 probably, because the tickets and the concessions. And then if you even like go bowling, like our bowling alley does do discounted nights on Tuesdays, but then like with us, we have to find a babysitter. So this is cheaper. And it's easier because, again, I don't have to find a sitter. And I'm spending far less than I was going out and doing those things. So, and again, most of these things you can do with one person. I do have board games and card games that are 1 to 5 players. So the Horrified game you can do with one person. So there are things that you can do as a single person if you're a couple, or you just want some things to do by yourself if you and your husband have different interests. It's cheaper. The economy is terrible right now. So I just thought I would share this stuff because this is what we do. I would say we try and make time once a week to do something like this. It's not every night, but we try to set aside one night a week. And it's not every week. We do have weeks, multiple weeks where we won't do anything. So it just depends. It's a lot with 3 young children, and then again, being in the middle of a remodel, it's a lot. So at least every other week, we try to make time to do something, either with the two of us or at least include our 7-year-old, because I think it's important to do things separately with each one of the kids, especially with Diana being a little bit older. There's about a 4-year age gap between her and the younger one, so it's nice. She appreciates doing activities. Diana and I during Christmas were doing diamond art. I got a set of like little Christmas magnets, so we were doing those in the evening. Didn't finish the whole set, so I still have some left over. And then my friend Christine sent her, they're about the same size, but they're little like sea creatures, and then diamond art sea creatures, and then we could glue magnets onto the back of those as well. So stuff like that is also nice. My husband and I can do them together, or Diana and I can do them together, or the three of us can do them together, things like that in the evening. So hopefully this gives you some inspiration for some things that are a little bit cheaper. Let me know again if you guys like this kind of content. I can do more. And then my husband is not opposed to being filmed, so like when we put this together, I've debated about filming us doing some of it, just so you can kind of see if that's something you would be interested in. Let me know. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Again, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye everybody.